What is cryptocurrency? Is it an investment? Is it a scam? I'm here with Jane today from Southeast Asia to actually talk us about Crypto 101, her journey getting into it, and what it means for us. Welcome back to Investing with Daren. And Jane, tell us about yourself. Who are you?
I'm Jane. I'm from Southeast Asia. I'm just a normal person like everyone else, just that I'm fortunate enough that I managed to just escape out from the 9 to 5 recently with the gain that I got from cryptocurrency.
I think a lot of people will be very keen to hear that story because most of us are still in that rat race. What's your perception about cryptocurrency before you got into it?
To be honest, I do not have any special perception. From what very little knowledge I got to know from a friend long ago, I just got to know that cryptocurrency is something that you can trade, just like the usual money that we have. But I did not know anything about it, to be honest, before I get into it. Yeah, it is just something new, and I believe this is still very new, and a lot of people still do not really know what it is even today. Yeah.
Yes, which is precisely why we are here. Now, many of us have seen a lot of articles, a lot of videos about cryptocurrency, and the truth is most of us still don't get it. Often we're afraid to admit it. So how will you explain cryptocurrency to a 5-year-old?
Well, to a 5-year-old,
Yeah.
I believe that it has to be a very simple term, right? To me, I would say cryptocurrency is a future money. It's a future money, just like how we spend our currency, like Singapore dollar, Australian dollar, US dollar. It is just same as the kind of currency that today, but it's in the future, you can use it to also trade for your meal, for your groceries in the future. Yeah.
Jane, you explain cryptocurrency to us. These terms like trustless, where it's more peer-to-peer, but then we're so used to invest in things that are regulated by the government, that the government controls, because then it almost feels like a safety net. If anything bad happens, at least the government can protect us. How should we manage this as investors in cryptocurrency?
Yes, trustless means that we would need to trust the technology behind it, that utilizing the coding on the blockchain, right? So you don't have to trust anyone, but trust yourself. Because in cryptocurrency, we all use the e-wallet, a digital wallet, right? The digital wallet in a way that nobody can access it, but only yourself.
I see.
Only you yourself have the password, have the private key to your wallet. When I first got my new first digital wallet, I was very worried as well. The question would be, what if I forgot my password? What if I forgot my private key? Gone.
I see.
Your cryptocurrency, your digital currency in your wallet, gone. So today, with regulated bank and all, you can actually, you can say that you forgot your password for your ATM, or you lost your card with the debit card. You can easily call the bank to say, can you help me to block my card because I lost my card? And it is so easy that they just need to verify who you are, verify that you are really that person, then they will block the card for you. Your fund will be safe.
Show your IC, show your passport, driver's license, done.
Right. That's right. But in cryptocurrency world, there's no such thing. And of course, there is such a thing. When you are using a centralized exchange like Binance, very popular Binance, or crypto.com, they will require you to do the KYC, right? So for account that you've gone through some certain KYC steps, then probably you can recover your fund from there, right? But for the decentralized finance that I mentioned, that the cryptocurrency world is heading to, is really nobody will do KYC for you.
Okay.
You don't have to trust anyone to keep your money, but yourself.
And so this is something scary, right? Oh, it's very new to people.
Yes, it is very new to people right now. It sounds very scary for a new person, to be honest. So That's why we always often advise people, you open your account, you have your e-wallet.
Yeah.
First thing first, remember your password. Second, write down your private key on a piece of paper, whatever book or that is so important that you keep it somewhere that that you won't you won't lose it one day.
I see.
So because that is the last access that you can use to access your fund in case of you forgot your password.
These things here, like my friend says, it's a cold wallet where you just keep your cryptocurrency in these things.
Ledger.
A ledger. Yeah, it's a ledger. What are these like for normal person? Like, when we buy stocks or we have cash in the bank, we just go to the app and then it's done already. What are these things for?
The terms of cool and hot wallet, to be honest, this is something that always confusing me. So I would just say that what you're holding, the ledger, I actually have one. That ledger, we call it hardware wallet. It is more secure in a way that only you, the having that device, can access to your fund. It is more secure than a totally digital mobile apps e-wallet. A very common wallet that we are using is called Trust Wallet, which is in our mobile app, that you can access it with your password, your passcode, or even your finger thumb, your fingernail thumbs, right? That you put into it, then you can access it. So that is all digital. What you are having, that one is a physical hardware that if you store in the ledger, you can only access it only if you have the hardware device.
I see.
And honestly, that's all I know. Although I have one, I haven't properly set up yet, which a lot of my crypto fans actually say, Jane, how can you still not yet set it up? It's so dangerous. So yeah, I haven't set it up, which I need to figure it out. But it has been known to be a more secure way compared to just a mobile apps.
Because it cannot be hacked, right?
There is still a certain way to be hacked, to be honest.
Wow. Okay. Clearly, I have a lot to learn in this area too.
But all in all, I would still say that the basic cybersecurity awareness, it is still very important. It is not only for cryptocurrency to secure your money in the digital world, even for our bank today, outside of the cryptocurrency world, our bank always remind us, don't click on any link that the bank sent to you via email, right? So these are all the basic. I think everyone, as a 101, right? You mentioned crypto 101. This is still also applicable in cryptocurrency. Not anyhow click on anything that you do not know. Do not anyhow trust anyone that to say, hey, you have issue in cryptocurrency today, right? Let me help you. First of all, you need to validate your wallet. This is a very common scam in cryptocurrency. They will say, I am the help desk from what and what project, which they actually got to know it because in cryptocurrency, we all use that, the community use Telegram, use Discord, that, engage with the project team to have discussion and all. So a lot of scammer, a lot of people looking outside of this community, whenever there is a user ask a question, they will private message these people to say, hey, I am the dedicated support team member to support you via DM, private message. All you need to do is you need to validate your wallet. Then we will be able to resolve the problem for you. And trust me, don't click on that. People that proactively message you via a private message, DM, are all scammers. The minute you click on it, they might have already, install some malware in your mobile or your laptop, or even based on that, they can already have your access into your wallet, steal your fund away. This happens every day in cryptocurrency.
Yeah, and we see like sometimes headlines, people lose millions of dollars in so-called Bitcoins because they forgot a password or they lost the ledger or they got scammed. Because like just an understanding and awareness of cybersecurity is so important. it also dissuades people from getting into cryptocurrency. Like I had a friend this morning who asked, how do I buy my cryptocurrency? Even if it's finance, like how do I actually buy and how do I sell? And I had to send like links or videos, and it's not like going to your bank app like a DBS Bank or Maybank and just debit and credit. What's your advice to new investors in this area?
I would say for a new person that got into cryptocurrency, you got to really do a lot of due diligence work. You got to really search online to make sure the website that you engage is really a legitimate website. From there, learn about it, how to actually engage with them, right? How to actually transfer your money. Then from there, deposit your fiat currency, which is our money. And then from there, from the fiat, you use your fiat currency to buy Bitcoin or Ethereum or whatever currency that you want from the legitimate website.
Walk us through like how you started your journey in crypto. What got you started, and what were the pitfalls you tried to avoid along the way?
How I got into it last year, mid of last year, when I met my partner today, and he is already in cryptocurrency, and he is particularly like this project, Define Decentralized Finance Project, and he told me that it is so unique, until like more than 2 to 3 times. I mean, more than 3 times he told me so unique that, you know, let me think that since I have some spare money now, why not I put some money into it, just buy some of the coins of that project. So I got into it without doing any study, really just because he told me it is very unique.
You trusted someone.
Yes, I trusted someone. So then I bought it with the amount. I know that, you know, as a 101, I know that I should only put into the amount that I can afford to lose.
Yep.
Right. It is an amount that what if tomorrow gone to the zero?
Yep.
Just like take it as I'm so unlucky, right? So I just put in that amount in into that coins. Then you know what happened is I got into that end of August last year. I bought it at the all-time high at the time.
Okay.
So a few days later, it is all crashed. I bought it at $1 per coin at the time.
Yeah.
Few days later, it crashed down to 60 cents, 50 cents, 40 cents, all the way 30 cents. What happened was I was like, shit. Immediately, I got into the loss, right? Within a year, within a week. Then what I did was, I still have some spare cash, right? So I DCA along the way. I do the dollar cost average along the way. I stop until I do not have any more spare cash, and I brought down my cost from $1 to 68 cents, and I stopped. Okay, then I hold it through, because that is also the time that I start to learn about the project. And the more I learn about it, the more I gain conviction into the project. I know that that is really the multi-chain future in the decentralized finance world. So I hold it through. I hold it with a minus profit for at least 2 to 3 months. It start to grow again. And then finally I say, yeah, break even now. Go to the break even, and it comes to, you know, around New Year time. Finally, I turn into profit. And I would say that today, right now, my investment is actually, yeah, I'm comfortable holding it with a profit. So what I want to say is, you know, to people that new to cryptocurrency, I think even like in a broader audience who say new to investment, do not always all in your money when you first put into your first investment. Always spare some cash just in case you need to do dollar cost average DCA all the way down, so that you can make your position more comfortable with the lower cost in case it's, you know, crash down the price.
Yeah.
Correct.
So I've got a question to my audience here. Like James, you're mentioning DCA, which stands for dollar cost averaging. And It's basically a way of just lowering down your cost price as you continue investing into an asset, whether it's in stock, cryptocurrency. And what do you think? Like, share in the chat below, like, do you use dollar cost averaging? And how do you think about it? Jane, like you mentioned, you were fortunate that it was a project that you had conviction on and it paid off. You also mentioned a lot on how you should do your own research and to not use money that you can't afford to lose.
Yep.
And there's so much research that needs to be done beforehand. What if someone comes up to you and say, I've got $10,000. I don't really have that much time to do research. Should I just put it into property, buy stocks, like maybe buy any other company stock that's a blue chip company? I understand the company. Or do I actually think about cryptocurrency?
Tough question, Daren. I will say that it's really very subjective to the person himself. He got to really think about what he would like to achieve in a year, in 2 years' time, in 3 years, I would say. Because the question that, if someone asked me this question, I would really want to ask the person to really think that how much risk you are willing to take, right? I would say that there are in a very broad categories that I can put into 3 categories, right? In today's world, in the safest way, you will put into your bank, do the fixed deposit. You don't have to care, you just put in there, for sure your money will gain. But how much percentage you will get in a year? That is a question, right? Secondly, would be a good business to do investment, just like you invest in Google, Facebook, Apple. These are the good business, right? So, of course, the risk will be higher than you put into the bank as a fixed deposit, right? The third one will be cryptocurrency, very volatile, and risk is much higher than you do investment into the good business. How volatile is it? Probably you will ask, right? So I want to tell you, you know, what happened recently in May, just May, 2 months ago, right? The coin that I bought, right? There was one time early of mid of May, it hit to one coin become $20. And that exactly was my first profit taking price, target price, right? So I sold some of my holding to take back my capital plus some profit. So that's my first time I sold the coin that I bought last year. Then I get back my capital, some profit. And then a week later, from $20, it dropped all the way to $10. And there was one day it dropped to $8. Wow. And that is like 10 to 8 is just a matter of 1 or 2 hours, I forgot. I immediately open up my spreadsheet. I have an exit plan spreadsheet, right, to when I should take profit. So I take it out, and that is also the plan that I already know that I want to quit my 9-to-5 job. So I asked myself, how much money that should I secure in my bank account to resign from my 9-to-5 job? If I don't do this, I would not be able to resign from my 9-to-5. If I sell at this price at $8, at that time it's $8. If I sell it, how much should I sell? How much should I secure in my bank so that I can resign? So it is very quick decision. Like, I think I look into my spreadsheet, I do the calculation with because I already put in all the formula, right? So I do my calculation. I was like, just go with it. So more of it, I think I sold my 39% of my holding at that time at $8. Then that I secured enough cash in my bank that enable me to still go ahead to resign from my 9-to-5 job. So from that $10 to $8 is just a matter of 1 or 2 hours. Immediately after I sold it, it dropped further to $6, $5, $4 that day within couple of hours. So cryptocurrency, very volatile, very high risk, and definitely is not for a weak heart. Back to your question, what should that person do if he has a $10,000? this is the things that that person need to assess on their own, on his own, to think that what kind of risk profile that he has, what is his risk tolerance, then accordingly he make the decision from there.
A lot of people also like believe in what Warren Buffett says, that you need to understand the business you're invested in, like otherwise ignorance turns into gambling, right? So like with stocks, you can read a company's annual report, you can buy their products, you can go to their shops or factories and truly understand it. But when it comes to cryptocurrency, some people say, oh, is this a pump and dump scheme, or is this gambling? What's your advice on really doing research about a cryptocurrency, let's say Bitcoin or Ethereum? What's research there in the crypto world?
I would say that, you know, I will not use Bitcoin and Ethereum as an example because those are too mainstream, which to be honest, I do not own any Bitcoin or Ethereum. To choose a good project, I would say that, you know, do some due diligence, some research to see whether or not that particular project is working on a actual products that will benefit to their user in the cryptocurrency world. For example, the one that I am heavily into it, right? I will not name it, but I will just briefly say that, you know, the reason why I get into the conviction into this project is really because it is the first of its kind in cryptocurrency today. Is actually a decentralized finance project that enable the multiple chain cryptocurrency transaction. You can freely swap your native Bitcoin to a native Ethereum. You do not need to go through a centralized exchange. So these are the things that, this is just an example that have an actual product. The way of determine a project is legitimate with actual products or not is really to see whether or not they have a product that really benefit to the cryptocurrency user, right? It's not just something that due to the hypes, like for example, the Dogecoin, right? It's really go up so high up the price, bump all the way to don't know how many $100, right? At some point, just because of Elon Musk mentioned about it, right? So personally, I do not get into the kind of coins that bump due to the hypes. I would say really more into the actual product itself. That is something more promising in my opinion.
I think it's a very new place for people, even when you mention how the product works. I think a lot of people won't fully understand it yet. You probably need to take time to do research, which brings up a big question here. What are the common myths about cryptocurrency?
I would say that people would really still think that cryptocurrency is a scam. I think why people think so, I think my guess is really because it is something that not physical. We can't hold it like how we hold our dollar in a paper, printed on a paper, right? So I think a lot of people still think that it's a scam. I think it's no difference than how some people think about normal investment stocks in the stock market, right? Because I think a lot of the retail investor, their mindset is really their retail investor behavior that driven that way, because a lot of people will invest into something when they see the price going up. That's where they FOMO in and buy it at an all-time high. Whenever there is some little bad news or whatever, then the price get down, dump, and everybody will panic selling. End up is what? You buy high, sell low, of course you lose money. So in general, from that perspective, a lot of people thinking that, you know, it is a scam. But I would say that, yes, it's true that there are a lot out there that's scamming people, but there are still also a lot legitimate project within cryptocurrency industry.
For those of you who are watching this, share in the comments below, like, what are the common myths you hear about cryptocurrency? What are you curious about? Jen, I've got a question. Some governments, they are coming up with their own digital currency, like the Chinese government is coming up with a digital yuan. What's the difference between like the government's digital currency and cryptocurrency? Because you say cryptocurrency is the future of money.
I would just say that, you know, for anything that being controlled by a government would be still something that's specific to that country, right? But in general, in cryptocurrency, you see Bitcoin, Ethereum, if you have those, wherever you go, their value are the same. It would not change just because your location. If you have one Bitcoin that worth today about, I think about 35 to 40,000 today, I think,
And
around that
today,
range.
Bitcoin is a huge rally.
Yes. So if you own one Bitcoin today, sitting in Australia, for example,
Yes.
you're seeing it value for like 35K. Tomorrow you fly to the US, it is also still value 35K. It won't change. I would say it's a global currency value that you're holding if you're having a cryptocurrency. It's very different than a currency that controlled by a government.
Cryptocurrency, from the people I talk to, from all the websites I see, seems to be a very male-dominated field. Like, what's your advice to women investors thinking about cryptocurrency?
Yes, it's a male-dominated field. It is really purely because it is based on the technology, blockchain. In the IT world, definitely is more male that actually more guys that actually in this industry, right? Because of that, because it is a technology. But don't have to be afraid as a female, as a girl, as a lady. You don't have to really know about the technology in depth to really that invest into it. You don't have to. You just need to know how it works. That's it. I do not have technical knowledge as well, but so long you have the will to learn it, to study, to do your own diligence, you can excel it. Yes, it doesn't matter you are a male or female. Yeah, a very experienced a professional working for many years, or you just fresh grad. All I would say is, as long as you have spare cash that you do not need to rely on to put food on your table, you can try to get into this venture, to try to invest your money. But a lot, I would say that a lot of people forget about this. They really put their money that they need to use in the daily basis into investment. When things, when things crash down and really bad things happen, the price down, they're really suffering. They really come and shout and scold. In the community chat, I can really see a lot of people scolding about it, that how much money they lost. They need the money to put food on the table. I would say that this is something that as a newbie in investment, all kind of investment, please do not do that. If you do not have spare money, stay out of the investment until you save enough money to have that amount of money that you do not need in the next 2 to 3 years. Then consider into that.
Jane, you call out a few times that cryptocurrency is volatile, the risks are higher. So what percentage is cryptocurrency in your overall investment portfolio? And let's say you take your property, your stocks, your bonds, your fixed deposits. What percentage of your total investment is on crypto?
100%. I do not have any other investment. I mean, except my own condo unit, my car. I do not have any other investment except cryptocurrency. 100%.
How do you balance that risk then? Or how do you approach it?
Yes, cryptocurrency is very volatile. I think to start with it is really have to be very clear. We must have the spare cash, spare money that we do not need it on our daily basis, a spare money that we do not need it in the next 2 to 3 years. This is the first step that we should have. And second steps, also always remember, invest with the amount that you are willing to lose. There is no investment guarantee, zero risk. Okay. And third step is always make sure have an exit plan. Have a very clear profit, target profit exit plan. When your investment hit that price, execute it, take the profit and secure your cash. Do not ever let the greed overtaking our rational mind. This is very easy for me to say. very difficult in execution, because human being human, very often greed that actually overtake our rational mind when the things happen. So yeah, I remember that, you know, when I first get into cryptocurrency investment, I started off without knowing what is FATA, what is moving average, how to see the chart. I had zero knowledge, and I attended a class, an investment class, right, to investment 101, to just to learn what about all this, right? So in that class, the person that teaching us, the master that teaching us, he really said that investment successful or not, it is not about the company is good or not. 80% is relying on our own psychology management when we start investing. I would say this is very true. It is very true. A lot of people from the community that I see, right, they really hold it very, very well. They got into it, have a lot of profit, paper profit very good.
Yep.
And when it's hit to the certain price and they still think that it will go higher, they never take any profit at all. And eventually it's really dumb when the price is dumb. They actually regret it that they didn't take profit. It is very important to have a self-discipline to stick to the exit plan. Yeah.
What's one advice you give for investors who are newly exploring cryptocurrency? You did mention earlier, do a lot of research. What else would be important?
Always be comfortable where you put your money in. If at any point, if you have any doubt, if you don't feel comfortable where you put your money in, get out from it. Because that is very important. Because to me, I think everyone get into investment is really want to gain wealth. Same objective to gain wealth. And what is the point if you get into a project that you do not believe, and you scared about it after you put your money in, you cannot sleep well, you cannot eat well, then what's the point, right? So always trust yourself, always be responsible to your own money and your own well-being, right? Don't trust anyone else, trust yourself.
Last question. Who shouldn't consider cryptocurrency?
Who shouldn't? Who
Example, like
has
people
a
who are
weak
not
heart?
digitally savvy, like maybe they're afraid of getting scammed.
Who has a weak heart shouldn't get into cryptocurrency, because the risk is really high. The minute you plan to get into it, you got to expect and anticipate that it might crash down to zero one day, right? So if you have a weak heart, you can't take this kind of roller coaster ride, don't get into cryptocurrency.
Thank you, Jane, for those perspectives. So, my takeaways here are one, a lot of research is needed to get into cryptocurrency. There are, beyond what we call the stable coins like Bitcoin or Ethereum, there are also many other budding projects in the cryptocurrency world. Many believe it's the future of currency. And as Jane called out, whatever you're putting into cryptocurrency, it is very volatile, could go up and down within hours, within days. Look at today's Bitcoin price growth. So put in money that you're okay to lose, even if it goes all the way down to zero. Now, everyone has a different risk appetite. Everyone wants to try things differently. Like Jane's approach, my approach to things isn't for everyone. So there's no investment advice here, but just different perspectives and stories. With that, thank you for watching today's episode. Click the like button, hit subscribe. Let us know what you think about cryptocurrency. What are your fears about it? What excites you about it? And what have you started investing in? And I'll see you in the next episode.
See you. Bye-bye.
Yeah, that's it. Well, see, done. Yeah.